And so what we do is we start with, I believe this is an assumption, but we assume that the world is determined. A lot of people have a hard time with this. Really sucks that we have to start with this. Because people say, oh, if it's determined, I don't have free will. Fast forward ahead 10 minutes. Yes, true, sorry, you don't have free will. It's a perception. It's nice. Doesn't mean to give up. It also doesn't mean that things are predetermined. Things aren't like, oh, well, you're destined to do this. No, it just means that things that happen for a reason. And it's due to the events and environmental relations that we have going on. And one of the things that people have a hard time with is with behaviors. Because like, oh, well, those are people. Well, I understand a rock. A rock doesn't get to choose what it's doing. A rock does not have free will. The rock is just subjected to whatever environmental conditions it's in. You know, depending on its mass and its size and the aerodynamics of it, depending on how strong the wind or water gusts, you know, all of that stuff. It gets kicked, it gets hit, all of these things. You know, you measure it. Under these conditions, you hit it, it moves this far. Same rock, same conditions, hit it the same amount, moves this far. You hit a little bit harder, goes this a little bit further. You learn all these rules. And people are like, yeah, absolutely. Should happen every time with the rock. Well, that's what we're doing, but with behavior. We drop the rock over and over again and measure the rock under the same conditions, different conditions. Find out which variables are critical, which ones don't matter, which ones skew things, which ones confound the experiment. And really, you go through. And so you just try to find out, you just try to determine what's going on. So if you try, think about respondent conditioning. You can't stop that from happening. Doesn't matter if you know about it. Doesn't matter. If conditioning is set up, if respondent conditioning is set up in a way where you have a neutral stimulus that is not blocked, that is not overshadowed, that has nothing wrong with it, placed before an unconditioned stimulus, repetitively happening, that conditioning process will happen, and you will eventually get the conditioned response from whatever the conditioned stimulus, which used to be the neutral stimulus, is now. That's going to happen. That's determined. We've determined something about the world. And in behavior analysis, what we need to determine, or what we're trying to determine, are behaviors. But our behaviors are determined based on our environmental factors. It's just how it is. You can't choose to be hungry. You're hungry because you haven't eaten in a while, or you did something to burn more calories. You're low on calories for some reason. You know, whatever reason you got hungry. There's a reason that you're hungry. There's not just you just don't make it up. You can't just, I'm hungry right now. Can't. You don't choose these things. It feels like we have free will. Example I like to use is, and it was easier when we had VHS tapes, so if there's any youngsters out there who don't know what a VHS tape, it was like a DVD. If there's anyone that doesn't know what a DVD is, it's like a streaming video. So you just watch a movie, and it was on a tape, and you can see the tape, and you can actually look down and see the pictures, and see it was a bunch of pictures next to each other. That's how life is. Life feels like you're watching the movie for the first time. But really, you can go down and look at each part and see what's going on. And all the pictures, all the parts that led up to this moment of the movie has determined what's going to happen for the rest of the movie. And the first time you watch it, you're like, whoa, oh my gosh, don't go in the burning building. Don't go in the burning building. Oh, but remember those factors earlier about when he was a child and his neighbor and blah, blah, blah. That all led up to going into the burning building. Didn't really have a choice. First time you watch it, seems like you have a choice. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. After you've watched the movie 10 times, you know, they're going in. After you've watched it once, unless you forget, I don't remember what happens. No, if you've seen this movie, they go into the burning building. Well, why'd they do that? I think that's stupid. I wouldn't have gone in the burning building. Well, through the environmental conditions and their learning history that is going on, it was determined that they would go into the burning building. And you rewind the tape and play it again, they go into the burning building. Rewind the tape and play it again, they go into a burning building. Think about any time travel movie. They go back in time, the exact same things happen. Right? You go back in time further, the exact same things happen. The only time something changes is when something and the environment has been changed. Oh, and Back to the Future, now there's a stat book here. Now I can go and help my dad out, or whatever time travel thing Marty McFly was trying to accomplish. And so it's only if you're under everything that led to this moment in time has only one answer of what could be next. And it's whatever my learning history and the current environmental conditions that I'm under, that I'm living in, have all led to this. And it seems like there's a lot of choices. You even have matching law. Oh, well, you got matching law, there's choices. No, matching law just describes how behaviors will be allocated under certain environmental conditions. And so right now we can look at it. I have matching law. I can hold on to this. I can throw this. I can write on the board. I can erase this. I can turn off the video. A lot of things are going on right now. There's always choices going on. There's a lot of things. But if you had studied me under these exact same environmental conditions over and over again, we're able to replicate these. And one part that's really hard to replicate is you can't rewind time. So in a movie, maybe the next time, not the next time you watch it, but later in that movie, there's another fire. They're like, oh, I don't go into the fire. Oh, but what about his childhood and his neighbor? Well, he learned from the last time he went in the fire. Now he has new exposure, new contingencies, new learning history, new environmental things have happened. And now it's determined that he won't go into the building. And that's really what determinism is. Things are determined. What's going to happen is determined based on the environment. That's it.